Now we'll talk about classification of neurons. Classification of neurons, we have neuron which is unipolar, which give rise to only single pole. जैसे कि this is the cell body and it give rise to only single pole. ठीक है. Whether it is a single process, give rise to a single process, whether it is axons or dendrites. Single process, and it is found in invertebrates. Then we have bipolar. Bipolar neuron which give rise to two cell processes, one and two. That is bipolar. That one side will form dendrite or axon and other side same. So it is found in a retina. The next one is called pseudo-unipolar. Pseudo-unipolar, it is a cell process. It gives rise to only one cell process, and then it splits, it bifurcates into two. And its one end will go to skin, and its one end will go to spinal cord. That is pseudo-unipolar. It is giving rise to only one cell process, but it is splitting after that. One part will go to the skin and one part is going to the spinal cord. It is found in a dorsal root ganglion of spinal cord. Next one is multipolar. Next one is multipolar. It gives rise to multiple processes. ठीक है. It is a cell body and it gives rise to axon and multiple cell process dendrites. It is all our spinal alpha motor neurons are these multipolar. Most of the numerous these are most neurons are of multipolar types. Multipolar neuron का structure देखते हैं. The multipolar neuron has one cell body. One cell body which is called as cell body या soma या cytome. ठीक है. Cell body contains two structure it has. It has two structures, nucleus and nasal granules या nasal bodies. Nasal bodies are nothing but a RER. So it will help in the protein synthesis. ठीक है. Protein synthesis. It is affected during the nerve injury. उसके बाद में ये क्या है? न्यूक्लियस. न्यूक्लियस रहता है. It controls the function of the neuron. उसके बाद में it gives rise to several dendrites. Dendrites are nothing but these are the receiving ends. These are finger-like projection and these are the receiving ends of the neuron. And next one, this one is axon. ठीक है. The part of the cell body from which axon rises, that is known as axon hillock. Axon hillock is the part of the cell body का part है from which axon arises. And the actual proper beginning of axon is known as is from the initial segment. That is part of the axon and axon starts from initial segment. Axon can be myelinated and unmyelinated. Those axons which are myelinated have fast conduction, and those axons which are unmyelinated offer slow conduction. So these is myelin sheath. These where myelin sheath is absent are known as node of Renvire. It is part of axon where is no myelin sheath is present. And there are maximum sodium channels. Maximum sodium channels are present at node of Renvire, which are 2000 to 12,000 per meter square. Sodium channel 2000 to 12,000 um, sodium channels per meter square are present. Now this is known as synaptic terminal, which is an ending of axon. Most important electrical activity that happens in the neuron is the generation of an action potential. ठीक है, which is the site of initiation of action potential in sensory neuron. Sensory लेके जाता है, तो the site of generation of action potential is at the first node of Renvire. But in motor neuron, the site of action potential is at the axon hillock and initial site. Now tells me the factors which affect nerve conduction velocity. Nerve conduction velocity. The foremost and most important one is the presence and absence of myelin. If myelin is present, then it will be a fast conduction. If it is absent, then it will be a slow conduction. ठीक है. Myelin provides insulation. Insulation, so nerve fiber will be thickened. Thickness of nerve fiber is directly proportional to nerve conduction velocity. So where myelin is present, the conduction will be fast. Absent conduction will be slow. What is of myelin? What is myelin composed of? Myelin is 80% lipid plus 20% protein. Unlike other cell membranes, which are 55% protein and 40% lipid. This is the maximum of lipid. What lipid is contains? It contains sphingomyelin. This is obvious. Sphingomyelin contains, and protein it contains myelin basic protein, not major basic protein. It is myelin basic protein. Myelin basic protein and zero protein. Hmm. Clinical significance. In certain diseases, there are antibodies against myelin बेसिक प्रोटीन, इसके अगेंस्ट एंटीबॉडीज बन जाती हैं, तो माइलिन जो है वो डिस्ट्रॉय हो जाता है. माइलिन डिस्ट्रॉय हो जाता है, डीमाइलिनेटिंग डिसऑर्डर्स हो जाते हैं, जैसे कि मल्टीपल स्क्लेरोसिस. ठीक है. सो इसमें क्या हो जाता है, माइलिन टूट जाता है. माइलिन टूट जाता है तो क्या हो जाता है, नर्व कंडक्शन वेलोसिटी जो है वो कम हो जाती है. माइलिनेटेड एक्सोन्स ऐसा क्या प्रोवाइड करता है? माइलिनेटेड एक्सोन जो होता है वो एक तो नर्व कंडक्शन वेलोसिटी उसकी फास्ट होती है, और ये क्या प्रोवाइड करता है, इंक्रीज एक्सोनल रेजिस्टेंस. एक्सोनल रेजिस्टेंस बढ़ाता है. मींस जो है ये क्या होता है, आयन को जो है वो ओनली स्ट्रेट लाइन, बाहर कहीं माइग्रेट नहीं होने देता फ्रॉम वन मोड ऑफ एनवायर टू अनदर. जस्ट इतना ही आयन को मूव करने देता है, तो आयन लॉस कम होता है. आयन लॉस कम होता है तो जो है वो नर्व कंडक्शन वेलोसिटी बढ़ती है. तो जो तेरा माइलिन है वो इंक्रीज करता है एक्सोनल रेजिस्टेंस को. थर्ड जो तेरा माइलिन क्या करता है, डिक्रीज करता है मेम्ब्रेन कैपेसिटेंस को. मींस कैपेसिटी. of the membrane to store charges. Decrease capacity to store charges. Store charges. Decrease in membrane capacitance means decrease in capacity to store charges. ठीक है, तो आयंस जो है फिर वो यूटिलाइज स्टोर नहीं होंगे, तो आयंस विल बी यूटिलाइज्ड फॉर द जनरेशन ऑफ एक्सटर्नल पोटेंशियल. थिकनेस जिसकी जितनी ज्यादा होगी उसकी कैपेसिटेंस उतनी कम होगी, मतलब स्टोरेज कैपेसिटी ऑफ आयंस उसकी उतनी कम होगी. Factors affecting nerve conduction velocity. One is myelin, second one is size of neuron. जितना ज्यादा diameter उतनी ज्यादा nerve conduction velocity. Third one is temperature of the neuron. Temperature अगर ज्यादा होगा तो nerve conduction velocity भी जो है ज्यादा.